All is well, students. Welcome again in our social science class, and we were discussing about the chapter 8 of geography, India, climate, natural vegetation and wildlife. In the last video we have discussed about the types of natural vegetation. So let's continue it. Just recall the different types of natural vegetation are depend on the different climatic condition. Amount of rainfall is very important. Vegetation of India can be divided into 5 types. First is tropical evergreen or rainforest. Second, tropical deciduous forest. Third, thorny bushes. Fourth, mountain vegetation. And last is mangrove forest or tidal forest. So now we will discuss about the tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forests are also called evergreen forest or semi-evergreen forest. These forests are found along the length of the windward side of Western Ghats and the large area of northeast India and also in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. They are found in areas having an annual rainfall of over 300 centimeter and temperatures ranging between 25 Celsius and 30 Celsius. Tropical evergreen forest of India contain tall trees with a closey canopy. There is little undergrowth as the sunlight does not reach the ground of jungle. These forests have broadleaf and hardwood trees. The trees reach a height of about 60 meters. The rainforests are called evergreen because they appear green throughout the year. The trees shed old leaves and bear new leaves at the same time. Common species of plants found in the tropical evergreen forest of India are rosewood, mahogany, shisham, teak and bamboo, etc. So student, this is about the tropical rainforest. Now next, tropical deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forests are also called monsoon forest. These forests cover a relatively much larger areas of subcontinent India. Trees in this forest are commercially far more important than those of evergreen forest. The trees shed their leaves during the dry season, that is March and April. Shedding of leaves in summer helps forest trees conserve moisture as water loss through evaporation is reduced. Trees of the tropical deciduous or the monsoon forest are not as tall and dense as those of evergreen forest. The most important species found here is the sal, which is an enduring hardwood with sweet fragrance. Salwood is very useful for making railroad ties. Another product that we get from this forest is lac. Some other important trees found in this forest are shisham and teak, mostly confined to the Western Ghat. Trees like sandalwoods, hora and bamboo also found here. These trees are used for other purposes than lumbering. Lumbering sandalwoods from Mysore. Deciduous forest is used for producing perfume and scented talcum powder. So students, this was about the deciduous forest. Now we will discuss about the thorny bushes or thorny desert forest. In dry areas of Rajasthan where rainfall is less than 50 centimeter, the vegetation turns into scanty scrub or bushes and is called thorny forest. The most important trees found here are various types of acacia, baul and kikar. These trees have long taps, roots, small leaves and thorny branches. These trees are an important source of wood, tanning and dyeing material, etc. One can find thorny vegetation all through the Thar Desert, the leeward side of Deccan Plateau and in the large part of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. Now next is mountain forest. In mountainous area, the change in the temperature with altitude gives rise to different types of vegetation. Thus, the vegetation on the mountains vary from tropical to alpine. This type of forest in mountain regions depends on altitude. Because of temperature decrease when the height increase. Tropical deciduous forests are found in the foothills of the Himalayas or the Shivalik range. Sal is an important tree found in this forest. As the altitude increases, evergreen trees with broad leaves such as oak, fir and chestnut are found. At height between 1800 and 2800 meters, we find coniferous trees which are shaped like cones and have needle-shaped leaves. Pine, cedar and deodar are examples of conical trees at a height above of 3500 meters. Alpine trees and shrubs are found. Now next we will discuss about the mangrove forest. So what are the mangrove forests? Mangrove forests are found in swampy areas which are washed by tidal waters. They are also called tidal forest. They can survive in both fresh and salty water. They are found mostly along coast region, backwater, tidal creeks and marshy. All major rivers of India form deltas when they enter to the sea or ocean. At the delta, the fresh water of the river get mixed with the salty water of the sea during high tide. These deltas give rise to forest called tidal forest. Trees of tidal forest can survive both in the fresh water of the rivers and the salty water of the sea. Tidal forests are found in India in two major regions. First, Ganga Brahmaputra Delta and second Delta of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Forests of Ganga Brahmaputra Delta are also known as Sundarbans. The Sundarbans are named after the well-known Sundari tea, best suited for boat making and construction work. Tidal forests of the Sundarbans are found on the seaward side of the Ganga Brahmaputra Delta. The Sundari trees is well-known species of mangrove forest. Sundari trees have stilt-like supporting root which remain underwater even during the high tides. So this was about the mangrove forest. Now, why it is necessary to protect forests? So forests are very important and useful for us. We get many life-saving things from forest. Foremost of them are oxygen, trees, nuts, fruits, wood, fodder, medicinal plants, herbs, lac, honey, gum, etc. Forests also support wildlife. On the other hand, roots of trees hold soil and thus prevent soil erosion. Despite all of these advantages, the existing natural vegetation of the northern plains and the southern plateau is being cleared for centuries for cultivation, grazing and for obtaining fuels. Increasing demand of land and agriculture industries and for expanding towns and cities as well. As a result, we are now left with only 20.64% of forest cover, an alarming situation. The government started a plantation program known as Van Mahotsav. To reduce global warming due to deforestation, trees are planted in large number of increased forest area. All wastelands are brought under plantation. In addition, both sides of the roads and hill slopes are being planted, and planted with trees, strict laws have been made against illegal felling of trees. The government has also made some forest reserves to conserve forest. It has announced awards such as Vriksha Mitra to promote plantation of trees and prevent deforestation as well. The environmentalist Sundarlal Bahuguna has earned great fame as he has contributed significantly to stop deforestation. Now next, wildlife. India has a rich and varied wildlife. There are thousands of species of animals and a large variety of reptiles, amphibians, mammals, birds, insects and worms which dwell in the forest. Most of large animals have greatly reduced in number. The tiger is our national animal. It is found in the various parts of the country. Gir forest in Gujarat is the home of Asiatic lions, elephants, and one-horned rhinoceros roam in the forest of Assam. Elephants are also found in Kerala and Karnataka. Camels and wild asses are found in the Great Indian Desert and the Run of Kutch. Wild goats, snow leopards, bears, etc. are found in the Himalayan region. Besides this, many other animals are found in our country, such as monkey, wolf, jackals, nilgai, cheetal, etc. India is equally rich in birds' life. The peacock is our national bird. Other common birds are parrots, pigeons, myna, bulbul, and ducks. There are several bird sanctuaries which have been created to give birds their natural habitat. These provide the birds protection from hunters. There are several hundred species of snakes found in India. Cobras and kerats are important among them. Students, due to hunting of animals and cutting down of forest cover, various wildlife species in India are becoming extinct. To prevent this and to preserve our wildlife, a number of wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries and national parks have been set up in India. The major national parks and sanctuaries are Corbett National Park, Kanha National Park, Bharatpur Bird Sanctuaries, Kaziranga Wildlife Sanctuaries. You can see in this map Kaziranga Wildlife Sanctuaries, Periyar National Park, Gir and Bandhavgarh National Park, Project Tiger and Project Elephant are initiatives that have been launched to save and protect our valuable animals. You can also contribute in conserving wildlife. You can refuse to buy things made from the parts of the bodies of animals, such as their bones, horns, fur, skin, and feathers. Every year we observe wildlife week in the first week of October to create awareness of conserving the habitats of animal kingdoms. So students, this was about wildlife protection. Friends, I hope you have understood this chapter very well. Now it's time to say goodbye. We will meet again with the next topic. Till then, take care. Bye bye.